And we are live. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. You know who I am, Ingram Jones. And we're here. Just finished watching on Showtime boxing. What a fight between Frampton and Leo Santa Cruz. Leo Santa Cruz was the reigning WBA featherweight champion. Frampton moving up after being unified champion, moving up in weight to challenge Leo Santa Cruz. Not a foregone conclusion who would win this fight. And before I begin, anybody who knows me and knows me well knows that I'm a huge Frampton fan. However, because you're a fan of somebody, I believe sometimes you need to look at things kind of a critical eye and think to yourself, you know what? Even though I think this guy is a good fighter, I think the guy that Santa Cruz is, I thought going this fight, based on what I'd seen of Frampton and what I'd seen of Frampton previously before he fought a featherweight as a guy that tied in the second half of a fight, I saw a guy that his work rate was never as good as Leo Santa Cruz at any part of his career. Was his work rate as high as Leo Santa Cruz's? And I just thought, I just got the feeling that Santa Cruz was going to get out there and get on top of Frampton at some point, overpower him, and stop him late. That wasn't the case. Frampton came out strong, caught Cruz early in the second round. It was more hitting him on the top of the head, so equilibrium balance sort of thing. And from that point, I saw that Frampton, the power was there to hurt Santa Cruz. And of course, Santa Cruz, when you get hurt with a shot like that, I don't care who you are in the world, when you get hit with a shot like that, you think, well, this guy could hurt me. He could potentially knock me out. But, you know, that didn't stop Santa Cruz coming forward and throwing bombs. And what a fight. There was just, you know, punches throwing left, right, and center. And Frampton boxed well off the back foot, showed better energy, moving up in weight, showed better energy. But what a work rate. Tremendous work rate between Frampton and Santa Cruz. And that really, when we watch boxing, that's what we watch boxing for, really. We watch two guys going completely at it, two top fighters going at it. And what a fight. What a fight. By the way, let me very quickly do this shout out. Very quickly shout out, let me go back to my Twitter page. Shout out to I want to get the girl's name right. Samantha Kimiko. For those who don't know who Samantha Kimiko is one of the ring card girls that are on Showtime tonight in the blue. So shout out to Samantha. Hope you're well. Now, moving on. So Frampton is now the featherweight champion of the world. You know what? I didn't want to come across as fanboyish. When you like someone as a fighter, for me, it's a bit more difficult. Sometimes you don't want to be fanboyish. You want to say to yourself, you know what? I know this is a good fight. And I know my guy has a chance in this fight. But I believe Santa Cruz was the better fighter. Boy, was I proven wrong. And I'm so glad that Frampton's proven me wrong. The rematch would be great to see in Belfast. I think it'd be fantastic. And I think you'll have to have somewhere big in Belfast to have the fight. I think that fight is a Wembley fight, not a Belfast. I think Wembley would be great to hold. You've got Selby and you've got Gary Russell Jr., two great fights that he made there. And I will say this point now. On this channel, you'll know when I get it wrong, and I get it spectacularly wrong, which I haven't got it tonight, because a lot of people were going down the same route with the Santa Cruz thing and at work in Frampton. I will say this much. Shout out to Shane McGuigan. Up until tonight, I didn't rate Shane McGuigan as a trainer. And you know why? Because in all the fights McGuigan has been in so far, Shane McGuigan has been as a trainer, this was it. This was the fight for me. I wanted to hear what he was saying in the corner to Frampton. I wanted to hear what the strategy was. I wanted to see what it was like under pressure against a guy that was coming, a champion. Frampton was underdog in the fight, so there was no guarantee Frampton was going to win the fight. It wasn't, you know, anybody can coach and have a strategy when you know the guy's going to win a fight. When you're not so sure if a guy's going to win a fight, meaning from the outside looking in, because obviously it wasn't in McGuigan's camp. You know, so shout out to Shane McGuigan. He did an excellent job tonight, changing the movement, making Frampton move his head, changing the look all the time. That was really good. Just shout out to Shane McGuigan. Is definitely a talented young trainer. My hats have to go off. I haven't got a hat at the moment, but I tip my hat off to Shane McGuigan. Certainly a trainer that's definitely gone up in my and all those things I was saying about Shane McGuigan before. Sir, my apologies. You are now. Okay, people in the room, nothing got to say about the fight with Frampton. Would be a quick if I can see their comments, and let's see. Now, let's see. And the new, says Zest CFC. Mark Smith 2. Yes, get in there. Mark Smith had it 7-5. Modern broadcast. All right, Ingram Frampton by 4 rounds. For me, 8-4. Mark Smith, how did you have it, Ingram? I had it, I think I had Frampton up. I didn't agree with 114. That was not a draw. I first I didn't think Frampton actually had won it, because down the stretch I was seeing that Frampton was landing shots, but he was rocking Frampton's head back more and more, and he was catching Frampton more clean shots going down the stretch, and it seemed that Frampton was slowing down a bit. That's why I thought Cruz was actually pulling rounds back. 8 rounds to 4. Yeah, I think that's about right. I would have it as that, 8 rounds to 4. Well, so but do you know what? It's all subjective, because it depends what you like. I thought Frampton fought well. But I thought Cruz, like I said, going down stretch, was catching Frampton with the bigger shots. So it's what you like, really. Yeah, give it to Frampton. It's one of those fights. Definitely, I think depending on how you're looking at the fight, you'd say, you know what? Well, I thought Cruz won it. Definitely, Frampton, I think, would have won the fight. But how they gave it a draw, I just don't know. It wasn't that. I didn't think it was that close. But anyway, Mateus Lescano. I had Cruz by 2. Mateus, where are you from? Let me know where you are. Are you? If I'm pronouncing your name wrong, let me know. Mark Smith 2 said fight of the year. Most probably, yes. Probably more fight of the year than Thurman Porter, simply because there were 2 guys who were quite good technicians in there, whereas both guys in Porter and Thurman were just swinging from the trees. There was some nice setting up. There was some nice movement, nice head movement. Setting up punches, counter punching. You saw it all in the fight tonight. Ivan Oliveira says, I had Cruz winning. I thought, at first I looked at it, I thought, you know what? Yeah, Cruz won the fight. That was because I didn't want to get my prediction wrong. But looking back at it, just taking a step back of it, I thought that Frampton had put the points in the bag early on. Mateus goes on to say, but it will be okay if the judges give it as a draw. Honest Bob 45 says, morning everyone. Mark Smith 2. Did you see what happened between Russell and Selby? Yeah, I think that Russell basically felt maybe slightly disrespected, because I think maybe Russell was on there and thought, you know what? Why didn't me and you fight? You're a champion. I'm a champion. Why didn't me and you fight? No, you're looking at Carl Frampton and fighting Carl Frampton. So I think Russell felt kind of left out there. But I understand that Selby would rather fight Frampton than fight Gary Russell Jr. Hand speed, power, movement. I think he'd rather fight Frampton. So I can understand that. Looked like Russell gonna bang Selby out in the interview, probably. I thought Cruz won. I'm surprised. I can understand that. Tony 2C, congratulations to Frampton. Mark M, well done, Frampton, though. I like working myself. I had Cruz nudging. Well, that's what I said. I did say that. But down the stretch, it looked like Frampton was being outworked. But, it's how you see it, really. But having said that, Cruz made a very key point. He said that where the fight was, there was a huge, more of an Irish contingency than a sort of American, Mexican kind of contingency. And I'll give you an example of a fight. When Lennox Lewis fought Ray Mercer, if you remember that tough fight, Lennox always said every time Mercer was landing punches, the crowd would go, woo! Now, judges can be influenced in that way. So every time Frampton throws a punch and the crowd's cheering, if the judges, I think judges should have probably some headphones on so they can't be influenced by the sound by the sounds of the crowds while judging. It's very difficult to judge and at the same time hear. So every time Frampton throws a punch, the crowd goes, "Hey!" And you know, even if he's missing or the shot's being blocked, then all those things are important. So you know, if Santa Cruz knew this knowledge going into the fight, then he should have said, you know what, I want to be in an arena with a pro-Mexican crowd. Well, that's what I would have done if it was me and I was a Mexican. I would have fought in a pro-Mexican crowd. The fact that you're in an arena, the fight could go close, and you've got in the back, you need everything to your advantage. Do you know what I mean? I know you say Irish fans will travel regardless of location, and by the way, this is being done here in Ireland at the moment. So this show has been coming to you from Ireland, but you know, he used the Irish fans. But you have to say to yourself that these things do have an effect on the judging. It does, because one judge saw the fight 114-114, and then you had one other judge, a complete landslide. Looked like Cruz didn't even win a round. So there you go. So I think these things are all things are part of the fight. But bottom line is, Frampton's won, and that's it. Let's move on. But I don't. Cleaner shot, says Mark M. Mark M continues by saying Frampton. Mark Smith says, I thought they were going to rob Frampton at the end. Okay. Mark Smith 2 says, more money, pay-per-view in the UK as well for a Selby fight. I agree there. MMD, good evening. And by the way, please let me know where you are watching this this show. Cruz had the higher work rate for me in the earlier rounds. Frampton waited too much for me and to give the rounds. I think Frampton edged the rounds. Yeah, I agree with you there. Frampton looked like how Rigondeaux would have fought Leo Santa Cruz. Mark Smith 2 says, American fault for not backing their own fighter. The fans should come out. Okay, but it was in a particular area which was going to bring out more of the Irish fans. The location, the geography was an area of America where there is a high population of Irish fans. That's, you know, that fight. So you've got the traveling fans from abroad, and you've got the fans of the Irish fans that love their boxing, have come out and supported. So I guess geographically that was great, and it worked in the favor of Frampton. Moving on. Directed by the Sandman, Frampton won. Yes, we know, we heard that. What a fight. I had it 7-5 to Frampton. Yep, I understand that. I'm Mexican American. I saw Frampton win. Agree. California, shout out to Cali. Shout out to Cali. I remember my time in California. Spent some time in Beverly Hills, and I spent some time in Santa Monica. Beautiful place. I was on one of the kind of bed sits out on Santa Monica. Beautiful place. And you see it again without the lag. Yeah, I can understand that. Right. So, yeah, congratulations to Frampton. Let's move on. Want to talk about the next fight, Mikey Garcia, the return of Mikey Garcia. Fantastic that he's back. I have to say the guy that he fought was a gimme in the sense that he'd come up from a lower weight division, came up to fight Garcia. Points, positive points, you know, that Garcia's patient, took his time, and check left hook was the key for him, and landed hard shots. Obvious points to take from looking at Garcia there. I think there's 16 world champions, or 18 now. Points about Mikey Garcia that were slightly disturbing. The straight right hand he was walking into and walking through all night long. But slightly concerned about that with Mikey Garcia. And I just think to myself, he was unable to move his head away from the straight right hand. And that's something that he'll have to definitely work on, Mikey Garcia, when you're fighting guys who've got good right hands. Because it was no point did he try and shift, slip the right hand, block the right hand. He was walking straight forward. Typical Robert Garcia fighter. Very little head movement and take the punches on the chin or on the gloves. So it's something that I think Mikey Garcia needs to work on. The other thing was the guy was from a lower weight division. I think he knocked him down 5 times. The way they were talking about Mikey Garcia being a beast of a fighter, I thought, well, when Garcia knocked him down once, that would be it. This guy was getting up after being knocked down 3 times. So punch power. I know Mikey Garcia is a big puncher, but how big a puncher, I ain't so sure. Elite level, but they do say he knocks people down. This first time I got to see Mikey Garcia fight for a while, of course. So, you know, I'll have to get into him more and watching him more. But good to see Mikey Garcia back. Would like to see him move his head more. But he's definitely a welcome addition. Good to see him back. Now, moving on. Tony Harrison. I don't know if anyone saw the Tony Harrison fight against Rabchenko. And if you look at Tony Harrison, he's a guy that you could tell was watching Mayweather. The way he was holding his hands, the way he was putting himself in position, the way he was trying to counter a right hand, the way he was off his back foot. Mikey Garcia versus Flanagan. Yeah, that's a fight. I'm sure it's going to happen. The way he was stepping off his, he got transferred his weight on the back foot and pushing through the right hand. The way he was throwing the check left hook, it was all Mayweather-esque. And, you know, taking his time, breaking his opponent down systematically the way a Mayweather would break a fight down. It was almost like if Roger Mayweather and Floyd Mayweather Sr. had spoken to Tony Harrison and said, you know what? This is how you break a fighter down. And Tony Harrison said, you know what? I'm going to take exactly how you break a fight down, and I'm going to do just that. And watching Tony Harrison hold his hands off the back foot, even wearing the Mayweather-like trainers, and just, you know, the right hand, boom, the check left hook, boom, the jab to the chest, all those things, the stomach, all these things were very Mayweather-esque. So I was very interested in that, and it was good to see Tony Harrison. He's now got himself in a position fighting for a world title. Good luck to Tony Harrison. Also, Paulie Malignaggi fight against some local guy. I saw Paulie Malignaggi fight, and yeah, well, you know what? If you're not elite level, then Paulie Malignaggi will beat you if you're not elite level. So well done for Paulie. Good to see him back winning. I'm hearing rumors that he might face Thurman next. I wouldn't want that for Paulie, because Paulie, if you can take Paulie's power and you can punch yourself, it's not a good sign for. It's not a good look for Paulie. So there you go. They were calling Garcia compare Garcia's power to Gennady Golovkin. So ridiculous. It is ridiculous, because Garcia was hitting the guy from a lower weight division and he was getting up. I like the last time, before he got knocked down the last time, where he did that little dive, like he dived like a goalkeeper. You saw the way he went down. It was like it's quite funny. Red Sox fan says, great job by Harrison. I agree, was a great job. Very impressed. They didn't show the Paulie fight. Yes, they did. I saw the Paulie fight. Oh, you may have seen it on Box Nation on Showtime. I watched the whole Showtime cast, and when I want to watch boxing, I kind of watch Showtime, so I get to see all the fights. So Harrison was okay. Charlo wins. GGG but is a coward. Paulie versus Burns. Paulie said he's going down to 140. Ingram in an interview, I see. I like that. Paulie versus Burns. No, I think Burns wins the fight, because I don't think Burns has got Paulie's got the power to hurt Burns. First of all, Paulie really only works off a jab. I don't think Paulie's got the power to keep Burns off, and Burns will walk straight through Paulie and just keep working and working. So I think that could be a unanimous decision for Burns, or even a late stoppage, because Burns, I would give Burns that fight. Directed by Sandman. Special K beats Gennady Golovkin. Well, we'll wait until that night comes around. So I think our next boxing is, if I'm correct, Baby Miller against Cassie. If those who don't know who Baby Miller is, he's the guy that had that mini spat with Bermain Stavern. Yeah, I think it's been a good night of boxing. 2 big fights, not too far away from one another. Thurman Porter and now Leo Santa Cruz and Frampton. This is what boxing is all about. Sergey made the mistake of focusing into the body. Correct. Oh, we've got, yes. Andre Ward coming up. Looking forward to that. But before Andre Ward, I'm looking forward to watching Suicide Squad. That was a random thing to say. Again, if you just joined me for this broadcast, shout out to Samantha Kimiko, one of the ring card girls from this Showtime tonight. Again, for those people who missed what I was saying earlier, I'm just recapping what I said, top of the show. Shout out to Carl Frampton. I thought he did a really good job with Leo Santa Cruz. And he showed more stamina. He certainly looks better at featherweight than he ever did in the lower weight division. Seemed to have more stamina, good punch power, good variety. The hangout is not showing up. What does he mean? I don't understand what he's saying. Don Flamenco, the hangout is not showing up. Can people see what? I think people can still see it. What was I saying? So yeah, what was I talking about? I was talking about Frampton, yes, and his performance. Shout out to Shane McGuigan again, fantastic. So happy for him. And you know, his training plans with Frampton was fantastic, which is really good. I like to see a good game plan, not just get out there and bang him, back him up. We heard a game plan with some science there, and I always like to hear that. And he beat a quality champion in Leo Santa Cruz. Nobody can tell me Leo Santa Cruz was a bum. Leo Santa Cruz weren't good enough. I thought Leo Santa Cruz was very good. The only thing about Leo Santa Cruz's preparations was the situation about his dad and 10 days out of the fight, whether he was totally focused on the fight because of the condition with his dad and he was going to pull out. Other than that, Frampton did a great job. I got the decision wrong, so did you. Indeed. I thought Frampton was going to outwork him, but I'm the first to say if I get it wrong. And I'm a Frampton fan. But I think, you know what? I think one of the things for me is I'm quite conscious, and I think that comes into my thinking. I've got to try and learn to detach myself more. You said Shane McGuigan wasn't proven. And if you listen to what I said, Graham, at the top of the show, and I repeated it again, and just for you, I'll say it again, Graham. I said I'd never seen Shane McGuigan in a big fight. Under pressure, he was under pressure against an unbeaten fighter who was proven goods and a fighter that was going to keep coming and coming and coming. Frampton, before this fight, I'd never seen a fighter that worked great. I'd never seen Frampton box the way he boxed tonight. Never seen him box like that. Throwing that many punches under that amount of pressure. So just repeating that for the third time. I only said it a minute ago, giving a shout out to Shane McGuigan, not less than 2 minutes ago. So just for you again, I'm repeating it for you again. I think Shane McGuigan has moved up in my estimation as a top trainer because he's done it at the highest level. You can't do it any higher than what Shane McGuigan's given those instructions and come up with a game plan. So for me, that was fantastic to see for Shane McGuigan. So top hands up to that. And shout out to Barry McGuigan. I know Barry gets an awful lot of stick. But for him to help Frampton get where he's got a lot of respect for him. Boxing's a dirty, nasty business. And I'm really happy, really happy. Did the extra £4 really help Frampton? I think absolutely. I don't think Frampton, in the low weight division, he would have started to slow down in gas. And the other thing was, I did see Frampton start to slow down a bit. Now, I don't know if that was through the body work and the hectic pace that was put out. But I tell you something, Frampton hit hard enough for Santa Cruz to go, you know what, mate? I got hit with that. Oh, you wobbled me there. I'm not so sure if I want to come plowing in and throwing 100 punches around at you. You hurt me there. So I'm gonna back up a bit here in what I'm doing. So it was still a great fight, and I would love to see the rematch. So yeah, I think other than that, we've talked about Frampton, we've talked about Frampton Cruz, we've talked about Harrison, we've talked about Malignaggi, however you want to pronounce it, and we talked about Harrison Rabchenko. I think that's about it to talk about, and gave a shout out as well. Thank you all so much for tuning in tonight, for watching. This is going to be a short one tonight because I'm absolutely knackered at 5:35 in the morning here in Ireland. Don't forget to rate, subscribe, leave your comments. No bothers, Graham. And don't forget to rate, subscribe, leave your comments. As always, appreciate you all. And we've got some things planned for you in the coming months. So check out the interviews. check out the live shows. And if you want to know when the live shows are, hit that button, that yellow button in the corner. Hit that button, subscribe, and you will be able to get the next live show or the next interview directly to your inbox. That's how it goes. This has been Ingram Jones from Bayloric TV. We're getting there. We're getting there. Even if our interviews are being used on Sky Sports now to use quotes tonight, we're getting there. The next target is probably to get Showtime to get a quote for one of our interviews. This is Ingram Jones from Bayloric TV. I'm out. Take care.